reported. We need to see that from the Congress, because to me, this is just like Watergate. You had a president that was paranoid. An election was coming up. He wanted to get dirt on his political opponents, and he sent out a group to break in to a file cabinet in the DNC headquarters. Instead, this guy, he's decided to use his clout with world leaders and try to do it on a global basis. And then, when they get caught, what do? They try to hide it on a super secret server and have the information there. They didn't have those back then in Watergate, but it is the same kind of thing. That's what we're dealing with here, and people need to think of it that way.
Let me ask you, Vice President Biden defended himself when he was asked about Hunter Biden's involvement with a Ukrainian company and whether it was a conflict of interest. Take a listen.
It's not a conflict of interest. There's been no indication of any conflict of interest from Ukraine or anywhere else. Period. I'm not gonna respond to that. Let's focus on the problem. Focus on this man, what he's doing, that no president has ever done. No president.
And to be clear, as I said earlier in the show, the Ukrainian prosecutor general says he has no evidence of wrongdoing by Hunter Biden. But I want to ask you, Senator Harris and Congressman O'Rourke have both suggested that they would not be comfortable with the child of their vice president sitting on the board of a foreign company. Would you?
No, I wouldn't. And I can promise you right now, my own daughter, who's only 24, does not sit on the board of a foreign company. But that is not the issue. The issue here is what the president is doing, because we have the Ukrainian prosecutors saying that there's no evidence. There has, as you have said on your show, multiple people looking at this, that there's no evidence that the vice president did something wrong here. And so what really matters is that the president was repeatedly trying to get dirt on a political opponent. That is the issue here. And we have seen this. We've seen this president. He does not know the line from the moment he stood in front of that wall of stars of the deceased CIA agents, stood there on that sacred wall and gave a partisan speech. He believed Vladimir Putin over his own intelligence directors, Jake. Time and time again, this guy goes with the dictators, goes with Kim Jong-un over the interests of America. And I think we need a president that's going to put the interests of the people of this country, those workers, the farmers in Iowa, the people I'm here with right now in New Hampshire, the veterans I'm going to be meeting with in an hour, to put their interests in front of his own or her own political and business and partisan interests. This guy hasn't done that. That is why the House is looking into this, because it is a security interest for our country, a violation of the law. It is very straightforward. And to not do it would be to shirk our constitutional duties. It was James Madison that said at the Constitutional Convention that the reason that these provisions for impeachment should have been and were included in the Constitution was because they feared that a president could betray the trust of the American people to a foreign power. Those were the words of one of our founders. And that's what's happening here.
All right, Senator Klobuchar, thanks so much. You should learn some Daniel Webster for the New Hampshire crowd you're about to talk to, but I appreciate your references.
Okay, I'll beef up on that on the way to the American Legion.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, Senator Klobuchar. Coming up, as Democrats pursue an impeachment inquiry, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is looking to the past